Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly share of the Zera Shimshon. And it is, Erev Shabbos, almost. It's Leil Chamishi. And it's Ches. Actually, tonight is Ches Tammuz. Tammuz Tavshin Pei Hey. And we're hoping for Mashiach any minute. Thinking about it. Anyway, there's a very interesting little piece here in the Zera Shimshon that I wanted to share with you because I've heard this from other people and I never saw it inside. So, Pasuk Zeus, this is Kapitel Daled. The Pasuk says, everybody famous Pasuk, Zeus HaTeira Adam Ki Yamus B'Oil. It's a Pasuk Yates and Yadaled. Okay. Makshim Lama Itzrich Lemichtav Zeus HaTeira. So everybody's asking, why do you have to say this is the Torah? And the rest of it is not the Torah? I don't get. Adam ki yamos ba'oil chudei sagi. It's not. The pasuk should have just said, when a person dies in the tent, that suffices. What did Zeus HaTorah add? L'didan yuvan shaper. And according to us, it's understood really clear. But my darmina b'meseches ksubas and perkid base, daf kuf gimel omid base. There it says kishameis Rabbi batla kedusha. Now this is the most important thing I want to share with you, and the Taisus writes b'shem Rabbi. He says, I had it underlined. As a matter of fact, Rabbi Chaim Koyin. Chaim Koyin says, now, you know, the Kohen is not allowed to go in the Beis HaKvaros, right? So, it's an Isa Deraisa according to him. However, Yalmali Haisi Kishinifta Rabbeinu Tam. If I would have been there when Rabbeinu Tam passed away, he says, Haisi Mitamelai, I would have contaminated myself to him. Now, he doesn't mean actually contaminated, but we'll see in the Gemara. The Hai Batla Kedusha de Kamer Hacha, because the fact that it says the Kedusha was nullified is Hainu Kedushas Kehuna, that the holiness of Kehuna was nullified. At that day it was batal. And furthermore, nothing. Okay. I'm not going to go into the rest of it because it's a Taisus. Okay, you want to look at the Taisus? Look over there, Kuf Gimel base. Now, but the interesting thing he takes off from here is a tangent. He says, the Kabatle Kedusha, the Gamre, the Kayin Haya Mutter Loi Lihitami. In other words, what does he mean, Batle Kedusha? It was permitted completely for a kohen to contaminate himself to go to the burial. Aval ein nira leRebbe, but it doesn't seem to be that's Rebbe's opinion. The Dilma Dafka Betumas Beisa Pras, the Rabbanan. That's only referring to the Tumas Beisa Pras. Beisa Pras is a field that had a kever in there, and they plowed it over. So it's only a suffix. If he might touch etzim kisa'era, a small piece of bone, and then that contaminates him. But that's only a suffix tuma. Okay, about tuma deraisa loy ein sham. Okay, lechayra divrei harab Rabbeinu Chaim Koyin nimukam imam. But he says he wants to be machriya that it seems like Reb Chaim Kohen, his words, his logic is with him. The fi mashik kosav hashach and the Torah in Parshas Chukas, and the pasuk in Bamidbar it says Hanagia b'meis lechol nefesh adam. Somebody who touches a mace, and any person, the ikar hatuma al hamesh eina bo elam machmas shemesim al yedei malach hamavis. Get this. That people. The tumah of mace comes only to people who die from the Malach HaMavis. I don't know who else. Where else do people die? Okay, how else do people die? However, he says, tzadikim shenishmasam yotzes b'neshika, but they're big tzaddikim that their souls go out with a kiss from God. Pi Hashem, kasher yachanu kain yiso, kain ein bohem shum tuma klal. The tzaddikim don't have any tuma. Allah Hasidim hold like this. Mishum hachi asi shaper batla kedushas hakehuna gami. Therefore, it goes very good that he says that the kedusha of kahuna was batla gami, in reference to tzaddikim. Okay. Aval kad mi'ayninam be'shaper. If you look into it very closely, it's impossible to say that. Why? Shari mi lano gadol mi Yosef atzadik shaloi nisasik by ella Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? So Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that gathered back the beer. I think he was put in the river, and he was brought up through Shemesh there. We won't go into that, but Moshe Rabbeinu, it went into his part of the machane. Moshe shalaka hatzmai Yosef gamrinan shehatami meis v'hameis atzmai mutarim b'machane levia. So we learned this of Mahalach in Gemara and Saita, that the mace or the bones of the mace are permitted in the Machane Levia. And there's some parak, like we said in Parak Gimel, the Saita, Ayin Sham. Ve'i Amarta Shat Tzadikim Eina Mitamim Heichi Gamina Mi Yosef Shar Mesim. So how can we learn from Yosef to other dead people? Hala Yosef Hayat Tzadik. He was a Tzadik Gomer, right? So you can't impose his idea, his condition, which was he was a tzaddik gomer, to other cases of a tuma. So you see from here that other tzaddikim are mitami. And furthermore, from the words of Rabbeinu Chaim, in the Taisvus there, it's from his words, it's proven that the Kamar Shahakoyin Haya Mutter Loilehi Tameyaka, that the Koyin is permitted to contaminate himself. The Shmamina Sheyesh Hatuma. The only reason he was able to contaminate himself to Rabbeinu Tam is because Rabbeinu Tam was a Tzaddik Gomer. The Hashash Lehavi Leila Memer Batla Kedusha Allah Adarabba Batla Hatuma. Okay. The Yiksha Oid the Pirush Hashacha now. A time of the rabbi commerce. He's singing a really big reason. That others say that if you don't die for the Malach HaMavos, but Mises Neshika, then they don't contaminate. Truly, they don't contaminate. Because they were killed by a kiss. I don't know what that means, but anyway, it's not through the Malach HaMavos. That's what he means. But the pasuk doesn't want to distinguish between them. Because, one tzaddik might have not died that way because of previous Gilgulim for whatever reason, or not, who knows. But and another tzaddik would have died from Mises Neshika. So we don't know. The Rebbe, Kol Bei Shimshi Asi the Beise. Well, when Rebbe died, it was a mice. He didn't really 100% die, because every Erev Shabbos, Leil Shabbos, he came home to make Kiddush for his wife. Good. Figure that one out. So at one point, the people found out about it, and then he stopped coming because he didn't want to make the bad name for other earlier tzaddikim, that they didn't come home to make kiddush for their wives after they're dead. Miato navo levayer hakasav zois atayra adam al derech shedorshu chazah. It says zois Torah ha'oila Torah sa'oila Torah achas l'kol ha'olim. So this is what he means. Zois Torah sa'oila. This is the Torah of those who elev and they bring a carbon oila. It's Torah achas l'kol ha'olim. It's one Torah for all those who are elevated. Afilo psulim. Olu lo yardu. Even those that are puzzled, because if they went up, they don't go down. Kimay Shapirish Rashi Sham. Shekasav Zeis Torah Sa'oila Lafisha Hasvara Haisa Nesena Shapsulim Yarda. So normally you would think, well, if you were puzzled, you're not going to stay up there. You know, to make an elevated level in your Yiddishkeit is not complete until you're able to stay up there. But if you're not so holy, you're going to come down. Afkan kasu zaysatera adam kiyamis ba'ayah yitamem mishivas yamim. So he'll be contaminated 7 days. Claimer Torah achas l'kol mesim. It's one Torah that was applicable to all those who died. Shitamu. They contaminate. Even though there's among those that are very righteous, that it would be logical to say they don't contaminate, but that would be true because they died b'neshika. Ein tuma bohem, and there's no tuma. Still, in all, comes to the conclusion that if you touch this tzaddik, you become contaminated. Okay, sorry to blow everybody's bubble in that one. Okay, everybody have a wonderful Shabbos. Parshas Chukas. Okay, Torah is emes.
הלחם היחיד כמעט בבית המקדש הוא חמץ. שימו לב לצורתו מיוחדת. אם העומר בא משעורים והעומר היה מצה ולא חמץ, שתי הלחם לא עולה על המזבח. הוא דומה בצורתו מעט ללחם הפנים. חייבים בגלל שהוא חמץ כמו מחמצת. ואחד הפעמים, אתה יכול רגע להעביר לנו לחם אחד ושום נראה